Hey, and welcome. It's Monday, the 5 o'clock LA show, and we are live. And yeah, I'm sitting at my desk again. The sun is definitely beaming in here. It's been cloudy all day. So this is what happens when I move forward. So I'm going to be sitting a little bit further back here today, but I can still see your comments and want to know where you are watching from. I'm just going to go to my Facebook group, and because today we are going to be talking about we're going to be talking about why sales feels hard sometimes. I know for myself, when I first started, for some reason this wants to give me a hard time now. When I first started, like selling didn't come naturally to me. Nope, not at all. And I've always been very transparent about that. It was definitely something that I had to learn, and it's like any skill. It gets stronger and easier the more that you do it. So you're going to be learning like from my actual mistakes. And yeah, this does not want to work for whatever reason. So we'll just like resort to the iPad so that I can share this in my group, because I know that there's a lot of people who are really interested in this particular topic. So in the meantime, like we'll just sit here and have a nice little conversation. And how is everybody? And yeah, Facebook is totally acting weird. To that, or I just have forgotten how to use this. um, Posts. Well, let's just go to videos. Here we are. I found myself. Captions are auto-generated. Jeez, I am so sorry about this, everybody. Here we go. I'm getting there. Sorry about this, but thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Share to a page. Entrepreneurs. Okay, again, sorry about that. And I will just end up sharing that to my personal page later. So in case you're just joining us and finding the video now, I'm Laurie-Ann. If this is the first time that you are watching any of my Facebook Lives, I come live on Mondays at 5. And today we're going to be talking about like why sales feels so hard. And because I know that when you're first starting out, sales can feel a little difficult. Especially like I came from healthcare, and this is how like I've shared it with people, is that I came from healthcare and I showed up at a hospital, at an office, in the, like when I was doing my own consulting. It like I showed up and I didn't have to sell. I was handed a list like, here's your schedule for the day, and so that made it super easy. So when I like left corporate and went on to work for myself, sales did feel hard, but it doesn't have to feel hard for you, which is why I want to share these 3 ideas with you about why it's feeling hard. And I don't think I'm going to be able to actually dive into all of them really deeply, but I definitely will dive into them in future weeks, especially if you just let me know, like, if is sales something that you're like, wow, like I need more help, I need more tips in sales. So let me just kind of like give you the overview of what the 3 things are. One is you're not sold on yourself. That's like what we're talking about, like self-belief here. Number 2 is you don't feel confident in your pricing. And the third is you're unsure of how to draw a line to the results. And that one can also, I could probably even like add in there like some objections. And let's just say hello to Sarah. Thanks for joining us today. So let's just kind of like go back to the first one. The first one is that you're not sold on yourself. And this comes down to like, what is it about you? If you've been hanging around me for any length of time, then you probably know that I'm a big fan of like whenever I start talking about a new topic, any of my free like trainings that I do, I always start with you because you are the foundation. Hey, Sarah, since I know that you are on here watching, I got a new microphone, so let me know if the quality is good, please. And as you can see, like I'm sort of sitting back here. I'm a little distanced from the microphone because I'm trying to stay out of the afternoon sun that's coming in through the office window. So as human beings, like I want you to think of like our brains are designed to filter out information. That's what our brains do. A lot of people call it like that reptilian brain of ours constantly is trying to figure out and filter, you know, do I want to kill this? Do I want to run away? Or do I want to love this? Do I want to mate with this? Those three things, like so all that information that's coming in through our eyes, our ears, what we're reading, what we're sensing, those like the feelings that we're sensing, you know, what do I want to do with that information? And then that reptilian brain, you know, like then lets the conscious brain feel aware of it. But think about those times when you've been in an awkward situation. It's like when your gut, your intuition like starts speaking up to you, or you just feel really uncomfortable. Or let's just say you're in the city and you're looking for something, somebody's giving you some directions, and it's just like, oh, I feel like it's this way. Your intuition is speaking to you. You know, a lot of that comes into this one where I'm saying like you're not sold on yourself. We as human beings just sense things about other people. You know, can we? If you're not showing up and you're not sold on yourself, like you get that like feeling about this is something that I shouldn't be pursuing. I shouldn't be buying. This is not the right person. This is not the right time. Whatever those reasons actually might be. But we're human beings, and we can just sort of like we sense that. And because we can sense that, you know, that's why I say like you're not sold on yourself is the number one reason, because your body language and your voice is giving you away. So body language in the sense of, let's just say you're on a Zoom call on a, you know, like on a sales call, or you're trying to get, it sounds quieter than normal. And when you move back, it's really quiet. Thank you. Okay. All right. That might mean, all right. So Laurie is just going to have to, I'm just going to have to deal with this, deal with the sunshine. Let me know if that's a little bit better, Sarah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate trying to figure out like if this microphone is going to be worth it. It's like so pocket size. I just am loving it. All right, so I'm just gonna like hold it down here because like God, the sun is like so in my eyes. So back to like your voice, not just like how you're speaking, but also what you're saying is going to give you away. If you're on a Zoom call, your body language is going to give you away. So let's just say like I get on I get on a sales call. If I'm just like, yeah, hi. Let's just say like, yeah, like the microphone is far away. You can barely hear me. But the light is poor. I know. All right, I probably I should have just like moved around. Anyways, thanks, Sarah. I'm like, you're definitely helping me out here. Okay, I'm just gonna stand back here, and I got my microphone like right here. So because I really want to share this information with you. So it's not just what you're saying, it's also how you're saying it. And that speaks volumes. And again, the person that's on the other end can actually sense your level of confidence. That's a big one. So, you know, like I have been coaching high-end executives, online business owners for a long time now. A lot, like I came from the executive and leadership coaching arena. And from there, like I would hear, like I pick up on things that my clients say. Some of the things like, I'll try. We can do that. You know, I think so. Those words don't give the other parties like a sense of confidence. And think about when you're buying something. If you were going to, let's say Best Buy, to buy a TV and you asked the salesperson a question and he said, I think so. I think it does that. I think we have another one. It doesn't, like, you just don't feel confident in, huh. And so I've always been that sort of person, whether I'm dealing with a salesperson or whether I'm dealing with my coaching client, to, what do you mean you think so? What do you mean you think you'll be able to do that? I want definite answers. I want to feel confident, in your response to me. So that's why, like, with all of my free trainings, like, I always want to start with you. So how can you show up more confident to your sales calls, more confident, in what you're offering people? Does that make sense? If you have any questions, like, let me know. So hopefully the sound is a little bit better, Sarah. Thank you so much for helping me out here. So I always want to recommend to you, because when we're like, but how do I have that confidence? Because we start to remember, like, oh yeah, that last sales call didn't go so well. The call before that, it just didn't go so well. I'm not even sure, like, how I'm getting people on the phone. And then I'm not sure, like, what to say to them, what questions to ask them. You got to have some sort of a sales call process. That's number one. But if you're new to this, or you just feel like, I'm just not getting the yeses, I'm not getting to the point where I can actually offer clients, like, share with them my offerings, it is, do you have a pre-sales call routine? Now, I know that Sarah's doing a lot of speaking, and I shared with her, like, you got to have, like, a pre-speaking routine. When I would get up, before I get up on stages, in the beginning, I had a routine. And even like as recent as, like, the last time I was on a stage, which, like, now feels like months ago. But having that, the sound is fluctuating a lot. Okay, guess what? We're just gonna. Okay, so I'm just gonna, like, unplug it, and, like, we're back to the audio with the computer. But thank you so much for sharing that with me, Sarah. So where was I? I was talking about, like, having, like, a pre-speaking routine. Definitely did that, like, a lot in the beginning, and then it just became something that my body, my nervous system, just got used to, like that. It knew that we were getting on stage and that here's what I needed to do. Let me take you back to when I actually taught fitness classes. And I could have, like, a long day, very busy, be exhausted. But as soon as I put the music in, like, I knew, like, I was the instructor. I was running this class, so I had to be on. And I tell you, like, when you do that week after week, month after month, year after year, your body just gets used to it. My nervous system knew we were walking into that room, put the music on, and boom. The same thing for your routine. You are teaching your nervous system. You are teaching your mind how to show up. You are teaching your body how to show up. And that's how you show up confidently. That's one of the ways that you can show up confidently. But I also, like, encourage people, like, after your sales call, have a post-sales call routine as well. I want you to celebrate that you just had a sales call. Like, think about, like, hey, what went well? What objections did I handle really well? Which ones would I, like, how would I have changed that particular objection or the answer that I helped to, like, with the client with. Now I'm getting all, like, stumbled in with my words because I realize, like, like, the sun is just, like, shining in my face here. But I'll bring this, I'll try to bring this to a close, because the other ones that are, like, you don't feel confident in your pricing, that's a little more in depth, and then drawing a line to the results is really key. So here's what I'd really like you to do, is I want you to start working on your mindset around selling. And a lot of times we've just had a bad sales experience. A lot of times we're just not trusting, like, ourselves. And trusting ourselves is huge. Because when you trust yourself and you believe in yourself, that's the first step. That is the foundation to building your business. That is the foundation to sharing your products, your services with other people. Again, the sun is very distracting for me today. I should have just like moved over to the other side of the room because even if I close these curtains, anyways, um, working on your mindset. And that's what that pre-routine is going to do for you. Whether that part of your pre-routine is reading testimonials, knowing that, like believing more than anybody that your product or your service is helping them. Because a lot of times we think sales, ooh, it feels icky. But you've got a product that you're offering somebody. It's a solution for somebody. Think about it as if you were crossing a pond and it was foggy, and all you could do was look down and see that one stone to step on. And so you stepped on that stone. And by somebody else offering, it's just like, oh my God, like there's the offer. There's my next step. And thank goodness that like this person showed up and offered their services or their product for me, because that's the stone that's right in front of me now. And I get to take that next step because the stone that's right after that, that's too far for me to have gotten without your product or service. Are you sort of understanding like the analogy that I'm sort of making here? So I want you to feel confident in offering your product or service, that you are part of somebody else's journey. So your paths have come together. And you are that missing link. And without that missing link, they can't take the step that might be beyond that, which could be building their business, which could be sharing their message, writing their book, scaling their business. I've already said that. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me like today. This is, I will definitely be on the other side of the office next week. But let's see, I'm just like checking my notes here to make sure that I covered everything. So I'd love for you guys just to like work on your mindset, reminding yourself how you are so unique, even in such a busy industry. Like I'm in the coaching industry. It is literally a $15 billion industry. And so a lot of people would say, oh my God, $15 billion in this industry. It's a noisy, busy industry. So does that mean that I can't make it? No, it doesn't. When you think about the number of people that are on this globe, that yes, there is room for everybody. There's room for you because you have a unique process. You have a unique way of helping people go from point A to point B. And so I don't ever want you to forget that. And that's what you need to remind yourself before you get on those sales calls, so that you're sold on yourself. So that when you make that offer to that potential client, whether it's a product or whether it's a service, that you are offering it confidently. Because people are buying confidence. A buyer wants you to be confident. I'm not going to hire like a painter to come and paint my office or the exterior of my home if he showed up and he wasn't confident or didn't have the tools. I'm thinking of a couple of years ago, I had to replace the roof that's on the house. And one of the people who showed up, it was always like, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, and like, no problem. I'll do that for you. But he was showing up in a car. I mean, he had to borrow the ladders that I had. I mean, he didn't even show up having the tools that he needed. And that decreased my confidence that he was the right person. Nice guy. Now, I have nothing against him, but he wasn't the right person. The right person that I ended up hiring did come with some great testimonials, some great, the person who referred him to me, I trusted, so that also helps. But he showed up with his own ladders, so that spoke volumes, and I felt very safe having him take care of my home. Again, he was extremely confident in what he could do for this house. So buyers buy confidence. I want to know that you can do what you say you're offering to me. So whether you have to write down a list of all the things that, here's what I'm really good at. Here's why my product or service is the best. I want you to feel like your product or service is the best. I want you to feel like you are the best person that for this, whatever you're being hired for. Whether you're being hired for a speech virtually, whether you're being hired for a workshop, whether you're being hired for coaching, for consulting, for a service-based done-for-you business, that you are the best. And a lot of times this can be like hard to uncover. Sometimes there's other stuff that gets in our way. And this is something that I want to share with you guys in a future episode, is that I've uncovered a story an incident, I'll call it an incident, that happened in my childhood that had impacted a lot of my sales journey, like as I was going along. And that was what was holding me back. And again, I want to take it back to the trust. We have to trust ourselves that we are making the right decisions. I trust ourselves that we are hiring the right people. Trust ourselves that the client that is in front of us, that we have to trust ourselves that we know whether or not they're a good fit for us. Trust that you are making the right decisions for yourself and your business. And sometimes that can be a little difficult. And I know from personal experience that it can be a little difficult because I've been in those shoes before where I wasn't sure. And I'll talk more about that at a later date. But if you're struggling with your sales, I'm going to be having some trainings that are coming up. So you can either jump on those, but it'll be like probably the master yourself. I'm stumbling with my words because I haven't actually set a date for it, but I'm actually going to be having a free training on sales. It's going to be coming up, and the first day is always going to focus on you, and we're going to try to uncover some of those hidden beliefs that you have about selling. Hidden beliefs that you have that sales is icky. I don't want to do sales. Well, if you don't do sales, then you just got an expensive hobby. That's it. So more information, just if you're watching the replay, just type down below if this is something that you're interested in, because I'll make sure that me or somebody on my team reaches out to you and gets you the information about when the free training on sales is going to be. So let's help you fill your practice, fill your client rosters so that you're not wondering, where does my next client come from? You guys are fabulous. I hope that you have a fabulous evening, and I will talk to you soon.